I hope everyone is having a fairly decent week. I know it's Thursday, but yeah, a lot has been going on. A whole lot. I'm honestly just grateful to made it this far into the week. I'm gonna wait for you to pull up before we get into this. Not necessarily sure where this is gonna go, but it's time. It's time to bury this once and for all. I don't want to have this conversation anymore. So let's go ahead and get this out the way now. I don't want to talk about this when we get off the live. I don't want to talk about this next week. I don't want to talk about this tomorrow. 2 hours from now. Once everything is said here, leave it here. That's the only thing I want you to believe. Everything that's said here, leave it here. I do not wish nor have the desire to have a continuation of the same subject after this point. The only reason I'm doing this now is because it's gotten to that point, where you're going to shut up about it. And a lot of people aren't really aware of this. So when I say aware of this, I mean they're not familiar with this part of my existence in my world. But we're gonna get into it. We're not gonna drag this out for an entire hour. I'm not doing that. I'm gonna say what I need to say about it, and then we're gonna move on for it. Now, anyone afterwards might have a comment or a question. You know what to do. So I'll I'll do this right now, and you pull up. Don't take forever to pull up. I'm not staying on here all day, so don't take forever. We're gonna get into this and then call it. For those of you who are not familiar, because this page is predominantly based on poetry and art. I have another page. I don't use it anymore, really, other than for my clothing line. I need to get back to it. LOWC Apparel, by the way. Link is in the bio if you want to check that out. There's things that I want to post, but for some reason they're not allowing me to create more than I want. So it's looking like I'm going to have to branch off into something else. But there's a channel that I have on here. It used to be called In the Ring Alliance. And In the Ring Alliance channel based on sports. It was based on WWE. At the time, it was WWF. Later on, throughout the years, things got more PG, more politically correct. They switched titles, turned it into WWE. Well, In Ring Alliance was about basically wrestling. A lot of people don't know this, but I was a hardcore wrestling fan. I love stuff. It was not a Monday or a day that I did not tune in to watch my favorite wrestlers get in the ring and do their thing. My uncle watched it. He put me on to it, and I was hooked up to anywhere from Hulk Hogan to Bruno Sammartino. I was a avid watcher of WWF.
I
So
don't,
in
I
Ring
don't, I don't,
Alliance,
I don't think you watched
no,
Bruno though.
wait,
That was before your time right there.
let me no, you can't. We're not going to do that. Not going to do that.
And let me
And
ask you
this
this: was you a big wrestling fan, or or was you just one company man? Because
now,
I thought you only knew people from one company.
now to anyone who's watching this, I want y'all to pay very close attention to the dialogue in the back and forth. I want you to understand exactly the importance of this conversation because I'm giving my background and my history of the origin of entering a line, and he's going to interject. You're going to notice throughout this stream a number of interjections on behalf of this brother and the other him. So first, before I ask you a question, in Ring Alliance was designed specifically for WWF because I was frustrated with the pup. I was frustrated with the direction of it. I wanted
Mm-hmm.
to talk. I wanted to talk about the quality of the performance. I wanted to talk about things that I felt weren't going right as far as creatives, just different things of that nature. Basically, I was a disgruntled fan who had a lot of problems with the way the company was being ran at the time. Now, fast forward, I decided to no longer invest in entering a line. Uh, to answer your question, no, I only watched WWF. I was not a fan of WCW. I wasn't a fan of any other company outside of that. So
So is it fair to ask you that you didn't know the other stars until they got to that company? Can I say that? Was you aware of any of them outside of that company, or you just focused directly on them?
WWF was all I knew. So I wasn't looking at anything else. I wasn't looking for anything else. And it wasn't out of ignorance. It was a pressure. It was the way they had their presentation set up was something that I enjoyed
Okay,
versus
okay. So was it more out of loyalty? Was you just loyalty? Because I'm pretty sure while you was watching it, the other promotion was being promoted heavily too. So was it just out of loyalty why you chose to watch that?
again, it was all I knew based on the way that they wrote their script, the way that their sound quality was, the way their whole production was. That was could I have expanded off into other areas? Yes, I could have, but nothing else really interested me at the time. I was already locked in with what I already knew. So,
Okay.
but while we're while we're actually here, it's because uh, a number of things made me fall out of love with WWE. If anyone, you know, here knows about Stone Cold and The Rock and people of that nature, you understand, the significance of their presence. There was a number of things that made me decide that this was no longer cool, and I wanted to be on record here right now. Shady business, discrimination, lack of creativity, favoritism. Um, there's those main key factors right there that kind of triggered. I was, I say maybe around 2004, I was already kind of headed out the door. Once I noticed that people like Kurt Angle and Austin wasn't coming back, I noticed, the quality of championship matches, the way they were treating the Intercontinental title, other belts weren't really being presented and held to a certain standard anymore. It was starting to get a little watered down. They were forcing people into position to be something that either they weren't ready for, or it was because they didn't really want to invest in anyone outside of who they thought everyone should like. It got to a point to where the PG era came in. They decided that we can't cuss, we can't be raunchy anymore, we can't be extreme. They don't want to see blood no more. All of these politics, different things started to come into play. It started to just get so repetitive. The creative stories were getting weak. People who were actually doing fairly good in the company weren't getting any shine whatsoever. They were just kind of getting dog walked throughout their matches. People who were really good at what they was doing wasn't really getting about like they deserved. So
And what year was that?
I'm not gonna say like I said, it started in '04 and only got worse as years, progressed. Every year that passed, you could just tell that it was getting harder and harder for them to put somebody in a position that Austin was in or Undertaker was in. You got people imitating finish moves. You got people imitate gimmicks, trying to, emulate the people that came prior to them. That's when I knew, like, yeah, they have a hard time. It's starting to get to that point where they don't really know what they want to do. They don't know what direction they're going, or they have an idea, but it's not working the way they want it to work.
So what about the women's? What about the women's? the women's revolution era. I mean, wasn't that an improvement in the company uh, compared to past years, compared to the era you talking about and the era before that? 'Cause to be honest, that was they
Yeah,
really only
and
bright spot. That was the thing of fresh air. That was different. You know what I'm saying? It was different than what you used to watch, right?
I say, yeah, yeah, no, yeah, because they actually wrestled.
I'm about to say they put away bra and panty matches and gave you wrestling. That's what
And
a
that,
wrestling fan want. They want wrestling.
but, but I love the technical aspect. I always wanted the women to have more matches. I wanted them to have more life, more stories. I wanted them to take them more serious. Because back then, they probably get one match throughout 2 hours, and it will probably come on around 10 o'clock. It was always that one little bullshit match that they would let them have. It wasn't really all that. But now it's to the point where you getting some pretty good matches. A lot of the times they probably better than the men's match.
Correct.
Now,
Now,
what I what I don't like, I miss the bra and panty match. I miss the rack because it was entertaining. They had personality, whether or not you thought it was too sexual or whatever the case may be, and it didn't focus on
no,
their
that, no, that,
ability.
that's exactly what it was for. It
But
was it
my
was an
point
era
is,
of X rated, bro. It
my,
was an X rated era,
my
and they was focused on the women's look. They didn't give a damn about the ability of what they had in the ring. Only thing they cared about is how they body looked.
my,
Let's keep it a whole
my,
buck.
my point is, it was entertaining. It was entertaining. We wanted to see it. You remember? I wish I could remember her name. Um, Tori Wilson. Tori Wilson's dad the was dating the chick
Don Marie.
Don Marie. Yeah, that was entertaining. I don't care if you thought it was silly. They had they had gimmicks. They had history. They had things going on that interweaved within the matches that made sense. In my opinion, the women's wrestling now is probably the only thing that would make me actually watch. But I don't even have any desire to watch for all of the reasons I named before.
So let's go to the title of this. It says, "Let's get one thing clear." So let's get one thing clear. Let's get one thing clear, and let's
Mm-hmm.
get to it. What's
Yeah.
what's the problem you have with the company today? I mean, it's a success
The
story.
problem I the problem I have with the company today is Vince McMahon. It starts with Vince McMahon and it trickles down to Roman Reigns, trickles down to Vince McMahon's age, his
Hmm.
inability, his inability to connect with the audience. It comes down to his way of thinking, how he's just all over the place with how he sees things moving as a whole. There's no fucking way in the world 10 years ago someone Reigns was going to hold the title for 3 fucking years straight. Stone Cold ain't do it. The Rock ain't do it. Shawn Michaels ain't do it. Hell, I could keep going on. Chris Jericho ain't. Kurt Angle ain't do it. Chris Benoit ain't do it. Randy Orton ain't do it. John Cena ain't do it. Batista ain't do it. Bam Bam Bigelow ain't do it. Yokozuna ain't do it. Hitman and Hart didn't do it. And why? Why is it that in an era where everybody damn near was at 97 on a video game scale, if we going off of that, damn near everybody back then was at least 90 to 96. In the Intercontinental title hunt, and the World title hunt, and the Tag Team division, and the Cruiserweight division, you had at least 3 to 4 people in every branch that was worthy of being a champ. It was not easy for anyone to just pick up a belt and hold that shit for even 2 months. But you mean to tell me, coming from that era in 2023, you could create stars to rotate around these belts? You only have one person that's capable of taking care of the company, entertaining the people, entertaining the people watching. There's only one person that's able to do that. You don't have no one else on that roster. How many people is on the roster? Gotta be over 100 people that you got on that roster. You mean to tell me in the last 10, 15 years, you could not find anyone from your creative team to cultivate the grow character into a place where they could take over and do what Austin and them did? Only one person is able to do it.
But you got to understand that the company existed before all of those people you named. You forgot to mention one name that didn't hold it that long. That's John Cena. He didn't do it either.
I did mention
Oh yeah, well, but I'm just saying, outside of that, outside of all those names that you named, the the last time something like that happened was you looking at 40 years, 50 years ago. You see what I'm saying? So that's what's making it stand out a little more. The person that you said you watched, he did it. Bruno, he did it. Hulk Hogan, he did it. That was the last two. It's a short list. So I mean, you got what, Buddy Rogers, Pedro Morales, Bruno Sammartino, Hulk Hogan, and now you put Roman Reigns with that. So listen to all the names that you can't put with that.
it's disrespectful. It's a slap in the face. Did Bruno have the same amount of competition technically back then? Would Cesaro, somebody back then, taking the title off? With somebody like Stone Cold or The Rock taking the belt off Bruno back then? Would The Undertaker taking the belt? Would the Mighty Gonzalez taking the belt off Bruno back
Now Bruno, you gotta understand, Bruno was real marketable, and what you gotta understand is that professional wrestling is not always just about the X's and O's and the duplexes and all of that. It's about making money. And what I will say, outside of Bruno, you had somebody named that just passed away, superstar Billy Graham. That's the guy that ended his streak because he was what? He was marketable. But before he met him, he didn't. They couldn't find nobody like him to take it off of Bruno. So you got to look at it like that. They needed somebody like Andre the Giant. He was big as hell. He was before anybody's time. Andre was Andre was the biggest attraction in wrestling history. There's nobody can attract an audience and draw people like Andre because he it's something that they never seen a man his size before. So you gotta think back in that time that's what was selling. That's what was going. If you couldn't get behind somebody that wasn't catchy, it just wasn't gonna happen. So
I just,
and then all the people you just named, sir, they they wrestled in the same time. So you gotta understand when the people that you're naming, the belt had to change because it was like you just said, it was heavier competition, and a lot of them had something to offer. So that's why the belt didn't just stay with one person. You see what I mean?
I
But
just wanted to yes or no.
yes or no, what?
Would Bruno would Bruno have had that belt as long as he did if any of them names were around
Well, no,
that
no.
title?
Well, no. The answer is no because I just said the person that beat
All right,
Bruno was somebody refreshing. That was what they was building
okay.
off of. They had a
So
good enough of a name, like you
our
like you
our
said.
point
So enough style to take down a big star.
lagging, lagging.
You hear me now?
Yeah,
Okay. So yeah, you had to build up somebody to take him out. But what I'm telling you, his reign was so long because they couldn't find nobody like him to do that. That's why he kept the belt so long.
now I now what you're you're falling right into my whole point. Why didn't they have him back then? Why why wasn't there anyone in a position at the time to rival him? It's not 2023. This is decades ago. He didn't have the same talent he had. So you fast forward to 2023, you have dozens and dozens of people that's way better than his roster. You compare the roster of 2023 to back then. There's hands down no comparison who will win. So how in the hell with all of the progression, the training, the level of coaching that you have surrounding these rookies and these folks coming in NXT and transitioning to the main roster? How do you have all of this opportunity and all these implementations put in front of you, something that you really didn't have access to back then? Can you say that you have all of this development right here at this post now, but you cannot cultivate 10 people to float around these belts? That's bullshit. You're not going to sit here and tell me Roman Reigns is the only marketable person. And if your argument is he's the only marketable person, then why is he the only marketable person?
I'm a, I'm a,
What is it?
I'm gonna
What?
say this
What?
about him. I'm gonna say this about him, sir. that despite what you just listen, despite what you just mentioned, there's nobody else in the company that can outdo him marketing right now. They can override him. Then I'm not saying that he's not. I'm not saying he's the only one, but I'm saying I don't think it's nobody that's over that level right now, currently, and that's just the facts. When you said it out your mouth, you said he's not the only one that you can market around. What I'm telling you is that there's nobody else in that brand that can outdo him marketing. No
Every
one.
time, every time you do some bullshit like that, I'm gonna throw these shades. Every time you throw out some cap or some bullshit like that, I'm gonna
Oh,
throw
so
these
you
shades.
so you say hold on. Did you just say I was capping? All you got to do is
Cap.
check the number. All you got to do is check the number, sir. I'm not here to beat you over the head with it. Just check the numbers and then get back with me.
I don't care. I don't trust the numbers. I don't believe the numbers. I don't care about the numbers because you could just as easily as you could tell me to do that, I could tell you to go to the comments that say they tired of Roman Reigns. They tired of seeing the same person as champ. I could do the same thing as you, just as easy. All it takes is a Google search, or I could just go on YouTube or wherever I need to go. It ain't that difficult. And again, I stand by what I say. If you tell me he's the only one that's marketable and he's selling all these tickets and things of that day,
Mm-hmm.
then whose fault? Whose fault is? Why are you trying to rewind? Let's go back in time. Let's try time travel for a minute. Was he always where he was? Was he always as um, favorable? Was he always that good on the mic? Was he always that good in the ring?
No, no.
All right. Hold on. I know you want to hop on. Slow down. He's not here. Not going to your autograph. Get up. Who was the people then? There were individuals back then when the Shield originated. There were people back then who already had time. We already had the attention. We already had the experience. They had to invest all of their energy and all of their knowledge into pushing someone who wasn't ready for it. WWE, Vince McMahon failed on numerous occasions to make people like him. Nobody was rocking with him like that. Vince McMahon kept forcing and forcing and forcing and forcing and forcing. Might as well have been called in force. My point is, there were people that were more than capable of doing this. Cesaro, Dolph Ziggler, Mark Henry, Rusev, Wade Barrett, Daniel Bryan. It was definitely a pain and a struggle. There was a pain and a struggle for each and every single one of them who had to lay down for him. CM Punk, the list goes on. There was a number of people that WWE could have got behind, and this is one of my issues too with the company in totality. You copyright claim that's not my music. Nope, not correct. Please. The, the time that they took to invest all of this time and energy into developing a character that would fit Roman Reigns. In that time, they neglected everyone else. In my opinion, they didn't put in the same effort to develop everyone else. And because they were so obsessed with making people love and adore the Shield and Reigns, they neglected everyone in the company. The product suffered because people weren't allowed to develop their own gimmicks and characters to the ways that they could have honed. All because majority said that we have to get this man over. We got to make sure he gets the best life, the best look, the best everything. So that means that you really don't care what the fans want. You don't care really about the other titles. You don't care about the competition, really. On top of that, you build all these rivalries, you make these people look strong, and this ain't directed to attempt right now. But I know the 50-50 booking is God. You building all these people. You have these feuds, right? One week, the bad guy gets out on the good guy. Next week, the bad guy probably get out on the good guy again, and then for the next 2 weeks, the good guy finally tries to get back before the pay-per-view. Then by the time the pay-per-view comes, you already know the results going. Shit is ridiculous. Where's the imagination? I used to be shocked and awe when I thought, damn, man, he almost won this. And then the top twist, there's no more of that. You put A versus B, now automatically you're going to assume A is going to win. Because that's just how it's been. There's no mystery to it whatsoever.
Yeah. Yeah, I would support you saying that it was a forceful booking. I'll give you that much. That they was trying. But what I will say, if you study the history of the business, not all gimmicks work. There's been a lot of people that change their gimmicks to get over. So let's just stay in that time span and say the women's division, Becky Lynch had to make a change in her character to get her stardom. Did she not do that?
Was it forced?
Did she not do that? Did she
What was
change?
it for?
Did she change her gimmick?
Was it for? Yeah, she changed her gimmick. That's that felt more organic.
So let's not, just like the topic we had a few days ago, but we're not gonna jump back on that. But let's not discredit or tear down somebody because, like you said, they was forced and it was not working to the level that it's working now, right? You see what I'm saying? When it was forced, it wasn't working, right? But when you let stuff build up genuinely and casually, it got over. It worked. So let's not tear something down that actually, you know, proved to be true after all. Because it seemed like you're trying to tear down his current product based off his past failures. He had past failures, and now that he's somewhat a success, people don't like that. People don't like the fact that he had the title for 3 years. People don't like the fact that he beat a lot of big names holding the title for 3 years. But when he was forced, let's go back to when he was forced and he was failing, we didn't hear none of this. You ever heard the term you gotta crawl before you can walk? And you gotta walk before you can run. And then when you start running, you can fly. Well, his ass is flying right now. He's flying. He in the air. So you name me somebody else that's walking, running, or is they flying? And if they're not flying, then that's why he still got what he got. Until somebody can fly, that's where it's gonna stay.
Y'all listening, right? I hope and pray that someone is listening. I would really love feedback. Because this has been developing for years upon you. There's clearly a difference. I'm a fan of this sport. I put it on record today. I have nothing against Roman, right? I actually like Roman, right? For the people. This doesn't have anything to do with people. I actually like it. My problem with Roman Reigns is not him himself. My problem with Roman Reigns is what he represents. Because for 3 years plus, even before the title, the company neglected their other team players. You look at their history, they did not invest. They did not pour out, did not sweat. They did not sit at the table and go out of their way to develop the other people on the roster as much as they did for him. And he was constantly fucking up. Constantly horrible on the mic. needed people to carry him throughout matches. When these folks were already solid in their field of work, we already knew how to take bumps. We already knew how to control the crowd. We already knew how to navigate the ring and the stage. We already had it. But everything had to fall in line for the Roman reign. Everything had to be catered to getting him where they needed him. And I find that hilarious that you say that every time I start going in. But the fact of the matter is, it's but the bull. Would they have done the same thing to Dolph Ziggler? If Dolph Ziggler would have lost to Brock Lesnar, would he have gotten a second, third, fourth chance to win the title? Cesaro, Bobby Lashley, would they have still got the same opportunity to get another title shot? Would they have gotten pushed as hard as Roman Reigns? Did they even get pushed as hard as him? Hell, where's Big E at? My passion for it died years ago. Once I realized that they didn't really care about real competition anymore, they didn't really care about the quality of the title. All they really wanted was their golden boy constantly being in the spotlight. Once I realized that they weren't really trying to push nobody else, and every time you turn on the TV, there's only going to be one person that's winning, everybody else is going to lay down, and you're going to get papers. You got the papers, you will the same result over and over again. It was already done. And honestly, I don't even feel like this man cares all that. But yeah, look, y'all, if y'all want another part of this, man, we can. But I'm not on. I'm kind of off. So I just wanted to get that out.
So the only thing about it is it's funny what you said about the part about Roman didn't know how to do things. He didn't know how to carry a match. He didn't know how to talk on the mic. He didn't know a lot of things, right? But it's funny that now he do all of those things better than everybody.
That's debatable.
So I mean, now everything that you pointed out, like all his weaknesses and all his flaws, he kind of made up for the investment that was brung behind his name.
What's more impressive? Someone who already had the talent and could pass it on and teach somebody, or the person who had to develop into.
I'm gonna go with the development because it's hard. It's harder when you're not a natural. That's more effort. You can quit for not being good. You know that, right? If you don't work at something, you're not gonna be good.
Let me say it so. If you don't know how to swim and they throw your ass in that pool, your ass gonna drown.
Let's take it off him real quick. Let me ask you a question. So you mean to tell me that every time that you did something for the first time, you knocked it out the park? You shouldn't even have to think about it. The answer is hell no.
But what does my personal experience have to do with his? In the WWE, either you have it or you don't. And
Okay.
it's and you bullshit because you've seen it for yourself. When a person doesn't succeed in the area that they want them to, they push their ass to the back. You've seen it happen to people. So why are you up here lying and shit? You know damn well anybody like Titus O'Neil or somebody didn't live up to their expectations. They pushed their ass to the back of the line. They didn't keep giving them opportunities to get that. That's
Okay,
my
so
point.
so that's a good point. So let's rewind the tape since we on the topic of pushing people to the back of the line, like you say. Did they or did they not? Did they or did they not give opportunity after opportunity after opportunity to your boy, the Mr. You Can't See Me ass nigga, John Cena? Did they or did they not? And his wrestling, and before you start, his wrestling was bullshit. His wrestling was bullshit, and he know it.
I knew that was coming.
So talk
No,
about that. What about those
no,
opportunities? He got 16 of
see,
them shots.
see, he full of shit, right? Because while he'll call out John Cena, I can admit John Cena wasn't the greatest wrestler at all. A lot of times I thought John Cena was corny. I thought a lot of his gimmick, this big ass positive stuff that he was going kind of just too cheesy. There were times where it was kind of cringe. I can own up to a lot of shit that Cena was on that I wasn't really fond of. I love the thugonomic shit. I love the chain gang shit. There was different pockets that he was in that I really rocked with. When he came into the game, man, he was on some Kurt Angle, man. It is what it is. I'm gonna go ahead and try whatever. He didn't have a whole team around him like Shield did. You know what I'm saying? That's why my respect for him is a little different. On top of that, like I said, I can criticize John Cena because there's people that he buried that I'm pissed off about. I said it. He buried. I said it. He buried people. Wade Barrett was my man. I fuck with Wade Barrett. I'm pissed. He buried.
So did Roman bury him too?
He buried Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt should have won. There's a couple of people that Cena could have put on. Let's not act like that's not the case. We're not now. Well, we're not going to sit here and act like Cena ain't give opportunity. People actually pinned John Cena 1, 2, 3. This nigga did not go undefeated 17 times for 3 years straight. There's no fucking way you could hold the title 16 times and not lose the belt for 3 years. Nigga done lost the belt to Punk. I mean, we can go down the list. Hey, come on, man. Reigns ain't did that, man. He probably lose maybe incidentally. The nigga will be in a tag match, but he don't get pinned. The person that's on his team gets pinned, so he don't look like he lost, but his team member lost on the count of some other shit. Reigns don't get pinned like that. And what happened? The AD 50-50 booking shit that I keep talking about. You make one person that's a face look like they got a chance for 2 weeks. The heel is good for the other 2 weeks. And then by the time the pay-per-view comes, their face loses. It happens. It's been happening way before Reigns was even in position.
I mean, just since we on the topic, man, just go ahead and keep it a whole buck and just tell the truth. John Cena didn't put the right people over. He didn't. There's a lot of missed opportunities that happen in that era. And if you want to do a top 10 list, we can get it. It's a lot of people, like one name I'm gonna out there to you. Bobby Lashley. He's a WWE champion. He was a WWE champion now, but the problem is, why couldn't he been a WWE champion then?
Well, just the man, this man don't like pushing black people. You know that, though. That was even before John Cena. When was the last black wrestler? I ain't talking about The Rock. The Rock technically ain't 100% black.
Booker T, he had the world title.
And before him,
Ron Simmons.
and and the gap of time in between. I know what you're saying, and I know where you're trying to go.
But I'm only talking about that particular era that he was on top. Because if you really want to be technical, you could take him and you can go back and say Hulk Hogan didn't put everybody on. Hulk Hogan was the last wrestler that was in this position that Roman Reigns had, but you hating on Roman Reigns for doing something that's been done before.
If Hogan puts over the right person, does any of this happen? Does this argument happen today?
Hogan did put somebody over, but he didn't put the right amount of people over.
My question is, if Hogan puts over the right person, does that erase this entire conversation?
Possibly.
How sure are you that?
Because you gotta look at it like this: before Hulk Hogan, the other people you named, wrestling wasn't mainstream. All the stuff that you watched, that shit wasn't getting showed. Before Hulk Hogan made wrestling a magnifying glass. That's what Hulk Hogan did for wrestling. So he's always going to be in my Mount Rushmore. He always going to be arguably the GOAT of wrestling, Hulk Hogan. Because without him, we wouldn't have all these debates. So yeah, if he a lot of the history that we watching is built off his time. So yeah, if he put over the right people like Mr. Perfect, people like Rick Rude, people like Rowdy Piper, people like Jake the Snake Roberts, all of those people never won shit. But you can sit on here live and talk about what Roman Reigns didn't do. But when it happened back then, that shit was revered. That shit was loved. You know, it was admired. But now when somebody do it, nope, it's ridiculed. It's a lot of hate.
Who says I admire? I never said I admire.
It was revered and admired in that. I'm talking about in that time span. Just like we was talking about with the how television changed family to family, the other topic. The times when the times change, stuff get treated more important than other stuff. So I'm just saying in that era when he did that, ain't nobody wasn't thinking about no fucking shovel until your boy came up. Now everybody's saying he he buried him, he didn't give him a shot, he didn't give him a shot. And if people hate you then. But back then they cheered you. Same thing you could say in the Attitude Era. The guy, he my man. I think he'd go Stone Cold. He didn't put over everybody. He didn't want to work with everybody either. But we're not gonna talk about that part though. See? Because you don't remember remember that because we were so entertained at that time in that time span. That was high entertainment. So you're not gonna look inside and point out little shit like that because for one, social media didn't even blow up like that.
Well, I mean, come on, man. It, with the whole Austin era and Rockland, they they hit it, but like that shit wasn't noticeable like that. Because at the end of the day, yeah, it happened, but it wasn't obvious like that. People still got out. People were still winning. It wasn't just like some overwhelming shovel getting, dumping dirt on people. The Rock and Austin went back and forth a few times. That wasn't no one and done type of situation.
Because they was both marketable. That was really the only time. That was really the only time in wrestling that it was so close like that. That you can go either way and you'll still be in a good spot. So the company wise, I'm just talking about company wise, that was the best time for them because they didn't have to pick really one over the other, even though they did at times they was okay with either or. They never been in that position. What you got to understand is that they're not in that position now. You see what I'm saying? From a company standpoint, they're not. They don't have somebody else that can do the things that the head of the table's doing. They don't have that.
And that's the core of the problem. That's my main problem. That's where all of my desire to watch stops. Because in that one state, all I need to know is why. Why don't you have it? There's no excuse. Vince McMahon is a billion. You can hire the best of the best writers. You have and had some incredible writers. You have many things at your disposal. What's the excuse for not having that supporting cast? Why isn't it there? Or do you just have people floating on your roster just to be floating on your roster, just to fill the show for 2 hours? Now, you can say there's people on the show that's just there for a paycheck. I'll give you that. I don't even really like this job. I'm just going to do this shit because it's a quick pay. I'm not going to really put my all into it because I know it's politics. I know I'm not going to ever get it, bro. But then you have people who really want, desire, and hunger, and they still don't get it, bro. They still get open.
So you mean to tell me that I'm gonna let you get back? I'm just saying, you mean to tell me that what you seeing today, that they wanted it more than what you saw back in that era? They're more hungry, or they're just as hungrier as those back then. I'm gonna say no.
No.
It's a few, but it's not enough. Okay? It's not enough. Back then you had an 8 to 10 person main event rotation. You can't look right now and say you can you probably got 5 at tops that can say they can main event. That's your issue right there. And then back before that time, in Hulk time, people wasn't really tripping